Hello friends, Intuitive Rene here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is part 2 of a real life reading that I have done or am doing for a client. And this is a new series on my channel where I am doing these videos to show you exactly, how I go around about doing the reading, how I, lay out the cards and the spread that I use and the reason why I choose the cards that I've chosen, etc., etc., etc. So I'm not going to go into that information now about the decks that I'm using and how I chose them or why I chose them, because all of that is covered in part 1. I will put I don't know what you call it, a card, a little link here where my finger is pointing, that will take you straight to that first part of this particular reading. So if you've come to this reading first and you've missed part 1, you can click that card and it'll take you straight to part 1 where you can see why I chose, how I got to here, etc. So what I want to do is just look at the question that I received from the client so that I can start getting us into the mode of the second part of her reading. So I've already done the first question, laid out the cards, done the reading and all of that. I've now put the cards back together, and we're now focusing on her second question. The other thing that I've done as I put the image up is I've just cropped out her other question just so that we keep this one relevant to just this question. So the client is saying to you or saying to me that her other issue is around work. She works in as an admin assistant for a very nice company, but I don't earn anywhere near enough to be comfortable. Every month it gets harder to cover all my expenses, and I don't want to have to ask anyone for help. Should I look for a new job that will pay me more money? So, this is a standard kind of question that, I get quite a lot. And obviously, it's a standard kind of question that a lot of people would have because, salaries don't change very often. Salaries typically, you may get an annual increase or otherwise you get an increase when you change jobs. But otherwise, your salaries stay fairly fixed. But our expenses, our living costs seem to be increasing month and every month. So I understand exactly where she's coming from because it does. How do you add or cope with all these added extra expenses when your salary stays exactly the same as it always has been? So her question is around her finances and around her employment. She's working for a company that she enjoys. She enjoys the work, she enjoys the people, she doesn't have any issues there. Her issue is specifically around her income. So as I do always, we're shuffling the cards, whoopsie, throwing them on the floor as well or on the table. Let me just bring the image up again while I shuffle. Sorry, I should have moved it before I started with you. Let's just give the cards a shuffle as we read the question again, because now I'm sort of setting the intention and sort of putting the question into the cards as such. So other issues around work. I work as an admin assistant for a very nice company, but I don't earn anywhere near enough to be comfortable. Every month it gets harder to cover all my expenses and I don't want to have to ask anyone for help. Should I look for a new job that will pay me more money? All right, so let's put that away. I'm going to cut the deck. As I do in all my tarot readings, first thing, so I don't have a spread that I'm using. I don't have a predetermined spread. I create the spread based on the questions, based on what the client is asking. So the first thing I always like to do is a card to show current situation. So this card off the top is going to tell us what her current work/financial situation currently is. I love it. You know what? This is when you know without a doubt that tarot doesn't lie and that the reading is going to be appropriate, applicable, and on track, because this card, it explains her question perfectly. So the situation you have in this particular card, this is the Three of Wands. This person made a choice, made a decision to change a circumstance in their life. They have now made a start towards the change. They haven't made the change yet, but they've taken a step towards the change. And he's basically still got a ways to go. So he's taken one step, he still has to take a second step, but he's getting closer and closer to arriving at the place where he absolutely then cannot go back, where he will absolutely have to make his final decision, final choice. But it's about the journey and the fact that he's already made the decision. He knows he needs to make a change, but he's already part way through, but he's not quite there yet. So the fact that this client has asked me you know, it already says that the decision has partly already been made, and what she's looking for from me is confirmation. Okay, so that is as a card to represent her current circumstance of this particular reading. I think we're on track. We're absolutely on track. Okay, so bring up the question again. She works as an admin assistant for a very nice company, but I don't earn anywhere near enough to be comfortable. Every month it gets harder, and I don't want to have to ask anyone for help. To me, that's interesting. The fact that she doesn't want to have to ask anybody for help. I want to know why. Why does she have a problem asking for help? And I know that's not her question. I know that's not what she's asking me for. But the fact that she's provided the information is almost a subconscious question. Okay, so I want to know, why is it so difficult for her to ask somebody for help? So I'm going to draw, and I'm not shuffling for whatever reason. I just feel the urge to take straight off the top. So why doesn't she want to ask anybody for help? And immediately what we've got, the two cards that have come through here, we've got the Knight of Swords, and you can see there's action, there's movement, there's you know, follow through. There's this knight, and they're charging ahead, they're charging into a situation. Now what's interesting, what I'm noticing is the wind is blowing in the opposite direction. So it's almost like they're having to go, he's running against the wind. Okay, so put the cards down. The wind is coming in this way, but he's running this way. So he's head what's the word I'm looking for? Headstrong, head first into the wind. And then we've got the Justice card. And the Justice card is about independence and wanting to stand up for yourself and wanting to be, you know, wanting to do the right thing. So the reason why she doesn't want to ask anybody for help is because she needs to be independent. She needs to figure things out on her own. She needs to be confident enough and strong enough to actually stand on her own 2 feet. Maybe her circumstances in the past has been where, you know, she's never had anything on her own, and that's why it's so important now to be confident and to be able to stand on her own 2 feet. And it's almost like it's a tough call, it's a tough decision, but she doesn't want to have to go backwards. And it's interesting again that the horse is going in that direction, and my interpretation right now is that it would be going backwards, and it would be going into the headwind. It would be going, you know, head first into the chaos and into the storm and into the wind by asking somebody for help. And she also is at the point in her life now where she only wants to do the right thing, and the right thing is to be on her own, to stand on her own, and to be held accountable, to be responsible and to be held accountable for her own actions. Awesome. Good. I love that. So, should I look for a new job that will pay me more money? All right, so let's put that away. Should she look for a new job that will pay her more money? Should she look for a new job that will pay her more money? Now, I want to expand on this while I'm shuffling the cards. I want to expand on this because we're going to get a card that's going to give us a yes or a no. But now, you know, for me just to say yes, it doesn't work like that. I need to give additional information. I need to give, you know, some clarity and some other additional information. So should we look for another job? And then I'm going to just draw another couple of cards that will hopefully, I don't have specific question, but I am asking Spirit for information around looking for another job. Okay, so I'm happy with the shuffle, cutting the deck. So should she look for another job? Immediately, you see, now we've got the poverty card that comes through. We've got the poverty card, and the poverty card says to us that this is her over here, that she feels as if she's abandoned. She feels as if she's on the out. She feels as if everybody's happy and content and comfortable on the inside, but she's left on the outside. Interesting. The way that I interpret that, the question we asked is, should she look for another job? This is a clear, defined no. The reason why I say that is because in this particular card, she is on the outside in the cold, suffering, not having what she needs, the poverty, and inside, on the other side of that glass window, is warmth and food and nourishment and happiness and laughter and joy. But she needs to get herself there. So to me, this is, should I look for another job? No, this is about looking internal, going inside. It's about internal, right? I'm liking where this is going. Now I understand why I had the urge to sort of take an additional couple of cards without actually having a question, because the answer is no. Should you look for another job that'll pay more money? Not externally, but internally. Okay, so we're going to stay within the same company. Let's just see what we get. I love it. I'm going to take one more for luck. Good. Right, putting the tarot deck away because I have my answers right here. So that was the clearly defined, not looking for another job externally, but to look internally, to go within. We have the partnership card here, the Two of Cups, which is the card of partnership. So again, partnership means client plus one other coming together for a mutually beneficial situation. So again, this is telling me about communicating and talking to the people inside the building. So again, it's talking to the boss, it's talking to the company that you have. The problem that we have here, it's about finding the confidence, to find the stamina, to find the courage to actually do that, because this is taking you out of your comfort zone, and this is making you feel as if, you know, it's can I do it? I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted, I'm worried, I'm nervous, I'm anxious. And the other thing is waiting for the right moment. So here we have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is you reap what you sow. But it also is about recognizing that you've got to plant the seeds today in order to reap the benefits of it at a later stage. So, client, what I want to say to you is you need to start talking to everybody at work, supervisors, bosses, managers, directors, other staff members. Like, you need to start talking to everybody that you can, dropping hints and letting them know that you have had enough doing what you're doing and you're looking for a challenge, you're looking for advancement, you're looking for promotion. You need to start planting the seeds in everybody's mind that you are ready and available to do so much more than what you are. And you know what will happen is when there's any kind of restructuring that needs to take place within the business, if there's any kind of positions that become available, if you've planted the seeds, then the offers will come to you. Now, when I look at this, I definitely feel like you need to stay within your current organization, but I definitely feel like you need to be, I want to say manipulating, but that's probably not the right term. But I want you to start, like I say, planting the seeds and letting people know that you're not coping financially. You're looking for more responsibility. You're looking to grow yourself, advance your career, advance your position within the business. And you have to climb out of your comfort zones in order to do that. And if you can do that, and if you can plant the seeds, I honestly think there's going to be success for you. But let's see what the Oracle wants to contribute and add. So I'm just going to give the Sacred Destiny Oracle a little shuffle. I'm going to take a single card, and hopefully it will offer us some additional guidance and information around, should you be looking for a new job? What should you be doing? How should you tackle asking for promotion and salary increase within your current organization? Okay, and the card that I am drawing is Patience. Again, I'm giggling because it's exactly what this card is. It is the card of patience. All right. So you know what? Look what we're doing. We're flying, but you can see that there's not much movement there. Okay. But we have to recognize that we just have to keep going through the motions. We just have to keep doing what we're doing. We have to keep just, you know, flying and planting the seeds and nurturing the seeds. But you need to, I think this is your biggest obstacle, okay? Your biggest obstacle is your confidence. Your biggest obstacle is, and I'm going to say, bringing back into it our first part of this reading, which was about your relationship. It seems like this is a common thread for you, in that you don't feel confident enough in yourself. You don't feel confident enough in your abilities, and you're always feeling like you're a failure. You're always feeling like you're not doing well, and that nobody likes you, nobody loves you. But the truth of the matter is you're flipping awesome. Okay, truth of the matter is you're actually doing an incredible job, but what you have to do is you have to stick it out. Going back to our first card, which was, you know, a card to give your current situation, and even there, it's like you know that you cannot continue as you are because financially you're not coping, financially you're not doing well. So that card is also saying to you that you've already made the decision that you have to have more money. You need more money in order to survive. And you've already started that process of taking on more work or taking on a new role within the organization. But now I'm going to encourage you to get more vocal, to start speaking to people. And it's the people internally. And don't just think that you have to go right to the top and speak to the boss. I feel like you need to speak to everybody, because maybe by you speaking to a colleague, that colleague may have a conversation with somebody on a higher level and say, oh, did you hear so and so, is really struggling financially and looking to grow, looking to improve, looking to, whatever. Or they could say, oh gosh, she was doing so well and she helped me so much there. You want everybody talking about you so that when there is a position available, you are the no-brainer choice in that. But in all honesty, I don't think finding a job externally is going to solve your problem. I think you need to stay where you are, but you need to just try and advance yourself within your current situation. So Clyde, I'm not going to say your name. So Clyde, I do hope that this helps you. I do hope this gives you the answers that you were looking for with regards to your relationship and with regards to your work. Thank you so much for letting me do this for you. And to everybody else, I hope you have enjoyed looking at how I do a real life reading. And I hope that it possibly helps you in whatever it is that you do. To everybody watching, thank you so much. Lots of love and blessings. Take care.